Here's a fun one. Is it bad genes if you're balding? Is that a sign that your genes are weak? That if you can't keep your hair through your 20s, 30s, and 40s, etc., that you're a weak person all around, or in some way you will not be able to produce healthy children and you're just going to be weak? Is that some kind of sign of weakness? Is it an outward sign of weakness if you go bald early in life? My answer is absolutely not. That's my answer. And what inspired this video was a comment that I recently received from someone in Asia, because I've been very vocal about my views on ethnicity playing a major role on how soon you go bald. Most Asian men are not going to go bald in their 20s or 30s or even 40s. Most of them are not. They're going to hold on to their hair much longer, but they're not going to maybe ever even grow a full connected beard. That's the trade-off, right? But if you are an Asian man living in an Asian culture and you were going bald young, and you're the exception to the rule, it's a whole different ball game over there, because you really stand out as the guy's bald. And so then he was saying that you're seen as having bad genes. So this concept of the ultimate psychology of why a woman would be attracted to you. She wants to see that you're a tall, strong man who's gonna be able to produce, offspring with her, right? This whole subconscious thing that women are attracted to, right? All that stuff. I think that's a very outdated concept. I really do. I think psychology and charm and confidence is absolutely the way you get a girl to begin with. I am convinced of that, and I'm convinced that if it takes that much of your looks to get a girl to like you, then that's a girl you don't want to be with to begin with, because she's very shallow, she's very vain, and she's crazy. That's what I say, and that's what I know. And I'm trying to give you words of wisdom on that. Okay? A girl that's that much into a guy's looks is that much into herself. She's that insecure. If she's that much into your looks, it's a reflection of how insecure she is about her own looks. And everything's about looks, not about what's in here or even what's in here. Okay? So this concept of bad genes, though, it's funny to me that anyone would think that because you're going bald or younger, that the rest of you is not healthy. And I know that there's been some kind of study that came out that said that men who go bald sooner may have higher levels of testosterone, and that may mean that they have prostate issues later, more likely to heart attack and that sort of thing. May be true, but at the same time, you have a responsibility to take care of your own health. You all know by now I'm a vegan. I exercise as regularly as I possibly can. I'm very serious about my retirement plan not being onset diabetes. It's such a predictable and preventable thing these days when it comes to onset diabetes and even cancer. We can prevent these things through a lot of things we do in our own life. And I know that. And it's funny because it's like, even with me being a vegan, I had my second child during that time. It's like, so this concept of like, oh, if you're going to be a real man, you need to eat meat and protein, otherwise you're going to be weak. Well, look at me. There's not any issues there. But when I think of all the balding men in my life, or bald men in my life, I see that there's no way that they are any more unhealthy than guys who have hair. If anything, I think, and this is what I believe in my heart, I believe it's an advantage to go bald sooner in life. That's what I honestly believe. Now, it's not something people would choose, but I'm saying that if you were able to survive that psychologically, you're going to be a much stronger, attractive man than the guy who just floats by with having the full head of hair and never had to worry that problem. I think it's actually, as they say, a blessing in disguise, one that none of us would hope for. But that's the way I look at it. I see it can actually serve as an advantage if you let it. But this silly concept that, oh, he's balding, he must not be a healthy guy. It's funny, it goes back to, there's a new series on Netflix about money, and it's about different people like who had these schemes. And one is about Donald Trump, and I watched it. And he had this theory that he didn't like people that he perceived who had bad genes. So whether he thought you were physically weak or just your personality was weak, he wouldn't want to do business with you if he thought you had bad genes. It was about having good genes. But even with that, I think what matters most and what society values more is the good genes when it comes to you being able to be confident, believe in yourself, and communicate with other people and make them feel good about themselves. Let me think that should be its own video. Yes, I'm going to do that.